amazing sceneries of fjords beyond the Arctic Circle, taiga forests, and vast tundra landscapes, sunsets lasting for hours, and white nights, specific beauty of cloudy landscapes, and fantastic colors of Arctic summer. Welcome to Extremely Low-Cost Travels. Norway, in the far north. During this journey we'll travel over 10,000 kilometers. We'll spend white nights in a tent or in 3 mountain huts. We'll admire the most beautiful Norwegian landscapes. And we'll get as far as the North Cape. We'll try to spend less than €500 per person for the whole month of expedition to Scandinavia. Our journey to one of the most expensive countries in the world started in Krakow, Poland. We crossed 2 of the most expensive bridges in the world to enter Sweden. And on the second day of expedition we reached the border with Norway. First landscapes, allowing us to feel vast open spaces we've seen in the area of Hemsedal Valley, near Elvatnet Lake. Next we drove along famous Route 55 across Sognefjord mountain area and explored the landscapes of Jotunheimen National Park. Then we drove further to see mountain ranges around Langvatnet Lake areas. North of Trondheim we entered lands of grey and humid climate. Finally we got to Vesterålen and Lofoten archipelagos, where we could admire amazing landscapes rarely seen here in sunny weather. During the whole expedition we organized our accommodation in 3 fairy tale-like mountain huts, unused by locals, heated fairy lounges, or in a tent. Now it's time to go further towards North Cape. Chapter 16. Amazing landscapes beyond the Polar Circle. Our goal today is to get from Lofoten to Kvalastjele mountain area. It's an over 500 km long distance, but the scenery on the way is definitely worth it. On the way we have to go back to Sortland again, where we will find the only LPG station in the area. Let's go northeast of Norway and let's enjoy the landscapes around Itenrud. We have a long way to go, but surrounding areas tempt us to make frequent stops. Like here, for example, on the route E6 near the village of Heia. The landscapes here are dominated by numerous lakes and over 1,000-meter high mountains. The vegetation here is represented mainly by North Boreal forest, also known as open or sparse taiga. The trees grow slowly and generally don't get very large. The forests are not as dense as in southern Norway. Pines and mountain birch are the most common trees here. The tree line in the mountains reaches here up to 500 meters. But further north it drops significantly. Let's go further, there are many other beautiful places to visit. And we have still a long way to go. But we often stop to feast our eyes on the fjords. Near the Skibotn village, we have discovered the most beautiful place on E6 route. This place is situated at the southeastern shore of the Lyngen Fjord. crystal clear water of the fjord, incredible sceneries, and amazing colors make this place unforgettable. The most characteristic sight here are the Lingen Alps mountains, rising monumentally from the sea level. The highest peak, Jekavari, is 1833 meters high and is the highest mountain in northern Norway. The countryside around Skibotn is an ideal place for wild camping. Vast pine forests stretch along the surrounding valleys. The Skibotnelva River empties into the fjord, creating fantastic scenery. Let's go further! On the way, we have many more chances to see Lingen Fjord from different point of view. The Lingen Alps stretch for about 90 kilometers in north-south directions. They keep some of the humid air coming from the Norwegian Sea and make the Lingen Fjord area to have drier and more stable weather than other Norwegian coastal regions. It's time for dinner! Pasta and jars from a supermarket, as usual. Not very tasty but cheap. After dinner, we can admire the Lingen Alps summits rising from the sea. Although the sun is low on the horizon, it is still many hours until sunset. Chapter 17: A Never-Ending Sunset. Today our goal was to get to Kvænangsfjellet mountain pass, which is a great sunset viewpoint. We got there on time. The sunset had already begun, and it lasted almost for 4 hours, finally merging with the sunrise. It was the longest lasting sunset in my life. Because there was no night tonight, I need to sleep in the car while we drive. Now we are going to Alta. Alta is the only town in far north where we can buy LPG propane fuel. Finally, we got to Alta. But there is an unpleasant surprise. The gas is out. We'll have to drive to North Cape on expensive Polish gasoline. Chapter 18: North Cape. The road from Alta to North Cape is about 230 kilometers long, and it runs through vast landscapes of tundra. In some low-altitude places, you can find dwarf birch forests. Due to rainy or snowy weather that lasts most of the time, many streams and rivers are present here. Rivers are full of fish, but the local vegetation is rather poor because of low temperatures, high cloud cover, and lack of sunlight from autumn to spring. It's time for dinner, nutritious and healthy as always. And let's go further. The summer is very short in far north, so it's good to capture as many sunny landscapes as possible. We still have some distance to go, but the road offers really nice views. The scenery here is really beautiful, but unfortunately these are the last sunny moments we are about to enjoy in the next few days. The farther we go to the north, the more cloudy the weather becomes. The areas in the far north are characterized by alpine tundra scenery. Due to short growing season, strong winds and types of soil, plants grow here after few centimeters. The last few kilometers and we'll reach the North Cape. And there it is. But there is an entrance fee to the main car park, so it's probably no surprise that we'll look for an alternative parking space. This one is perfect. So let's go and see what the North Cape has to offer. So I got to North Cape after 18 days of travel. But I wonder why. There is nothing interesting here. Grey scenery and freezing weather are the main attractions here. But at least we don't have to pay anything for the entrance. Or maybe we do? It turned out that the entrance to the main building is only for those who have paid lots of money for the parking. Well, we don't plan to buy souvenirs or to visit restaurants, so let's have a look around outside. One of the most notable monuments at the North Cape are the discs called Children of the Earth, recreated from the drawings of 7 children from all over the world. What landscapes can we find at the northern tip of Europe? Well, it's not entirely true that North Cape is the northern tip of Europe. It is the most northern tip where you can drive your car. But the actual northernmost point is Nifskeloden Cape. The situation is even more complicated by the fact that North Cape is located on an island, so the northernmost point of mainland Europe is located at Cape Nordkinn. North Cape is a large plateau, but from the north it ends with over 300-meter high cliffs. Further north is the Barents Sea. Steep slopes prevent access to the sea in most places. There are no trees here. The weather here is often cold and cloudy. The conditions here are suitable mostly for mosses and lichens. If you're lucky, you can meet here iconic tundra animals, reindeer. Unlike the herds met in more southern parts of Norway, the Nordkapp reindeer are wild and free. Chapter 19. Free huts around Hammerfest. It's time for us to head to our next destination. We'll try to find a nice and free accommodation in the far north. There are some nice mountain huts in the area around Hammerfest town. And here we are next to the Hammerfest airport. Perfect place to cook dinner. Let's go and find a hut for the night. Our hut is located at the altitude around 300 meters near the Hammerfjell Tower. We finally got to the hut. I must admit that it looks quite unusual. Inside the hut looks quite cozy. There are benches, tables, fireplace, dry wood and other stuff. Time for us to visit some other locations in this area. This way we have arrived to an extraordinary little house in the mountains. From the outside, it's an ordinary little house. It's open. Everyone can come here for the night. Inside the house, we were surprised by luxuries not found too often in free huts. Comfortable sofas, fully equipped kitchen, efficient stove, some board games, and a nice view from the window. After a white night, it's time to go back to our car. Unfortunately, the weather is really bad, and there is no point to go hiking. There is no hope for a change in the weather in the coming days. So I guess it's time to leave behind the Arctic Circle. Chapter 20. Back to the south. Our plan for the next 2 days is to get back to Lodingen. It's a distance of more than 700 kilometers. On the way we'll get back to Alta town, our only hope for cheap LPG fuel in far north. Fortunately, this time we're lucky. We can buy the propane. The last time we couldn't buy it because it was empty. Time for dinner in a nice but cloudy scenery. I'm starting to hate pasta with jars from supermarket. Let's go further, there is nothing to see here in such a weather. While it's not raining, we'll make stops to explore nearby fjord sceneries. Some places are quite interesting, like the shore where we found an old boat, and intriguing old building made partly from another boat. This place was more spectacular the last time we were here to watch the 4-hour lasting sunset. I hate the Arctic weather, but sometimes there are moments that you can really enjoy the specific beauty of such cloudy landscapes. It's wet and really late. Tonight we'll sleep in the car. Next day we go further southwest. There aren't many sunny moments on the way, but when they do happen, then we always try to enjoy them. In such natural surroundings, even the worst dinner tastes delicious. This amazing place is located not far away from Lodingen, and it's one of our last chances to admire the fantastic landscapes beyond the Arctic Circle. Let's enjoy these stunning views and precious moments of sunshine weather. It's getting late. Time to catch a ferry and go towards the Arctic Circle boundary. We have to say goodbye to the beautiful lands around Lofoten. After leaving the ferry, we have to find a place for camping. Driving on the bare rock terrain roads is a little bit challenging, but finally we have found a place for our tent. The third week of our expedition is nearly over. This is the summary of our present episode. In the next episode, we'll show you the way back from Arctic Circle to Central Europe. We'll once again travel through the mountain tundra landscapes, through taiga forests, we'll see numerous lakes, and powerful rivers. We'll enjoy beautiful agricultural lands and traditional Norwegian villages. At the end of the expedition, we'll see some Swedish and Danish landscapes.